Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us for this paranormal pit stop. Tonight, we'll be exploring a prominent and popular 139-acre city-owned burying grounds located off of Wabash Avenue out of Terre Haute in Indiana that's widely recognized as one of the most beautiful graveyards in the whole of the United States, holding the title of acting as Indiana's second largest place of interment and rumored to harbor a range of restless spirits and supernatural phenomena tied to its lengthy past. Are you ready to brave the history and hauntings of the Highland Lawn Cemetery? Historically, the Highland Lawn Cemetery would initially open its gates in 1884 at its current location and size, and on October 29th of the same year, it would accept its first interment in the form of 30-year-old Samantha McPherson, who was lost to typhoid fever. In 1893, the Yard's Chapel was constructed in the style of Richardsonian Romanesque under architect Jesse A. Vrida. In 1894, the bell tower and adjoining arch were erected, and in 1909, the attached rest house was fashioned as a waiting station and would later host cemetery office space. More recently, in 1987, the site's chapel would undergo renovations lasting through March of the following year, and in 1990, Highland would be honored on the National Register of Historic Places for its unique agriculture and landscaping. Highland remains open and active into the present, boasting 23 separate sections, with Section 18 being the only one with an actual limit on the size of markers, being that all markers there are required to be flat. Over its years in operation, a range of local legends and ghost stories claiming this old yard is roamed by spirits tied to its many interments have persisted, with those frequenting its bounds reporting extreme cold patches felt through the heat of summer, disembodied voices and whispers heard on the winds, and encounters with ominous shadowy figures that stalk the living at great lengths. One more famous Highland legend intertwines with actual history to tell the tale of Martin Sheets, who, fearing he'd be buried alive, made arrangements for a custom escapable casket and a phone line that led directly into his mausoleum, just in case. Martin would pass on in 1910, and his estate would keep said amenities paid for. However, this is where things get a bit spooky. Years later, it's claimed Martin's widow was found dead from a possible stroke, and strangely clutching her phone. However, dots weren't fully connected until cemetery workers opened up Martin's mausoleum to lay her remains next to his, only to find the phone inside the tomb off the hook. To this day, many believe that either Martin or possibly his confused spirit accidentally called his love, resulting in her death by shock, and many nearing the old Sheets' final resting place have told of whispers, laughter, crying, and even calls for help heard emanating from deep within. Additionally, several informal investigations of Highland Lawn Cemetery as a whole have yielded high EMF levels, inexplicable EVPs, and odd malfunctions with well-maintained equipment, and several sources have claimed to have been tapped, touched, or even pushed by a presence unseen. Lastly, and possibly most famous to emerge from this weathered yard, is the tale of John G. Heinel and his dog Stiffy Green. It's told that following John's death in 1920, Stiffy, who was stalwart and ever loyal, refused to leave his master's gravesite, though friends and family attempted to lure him away with food and even managed to capture him on several occasions. Stiffy would always make his way back to the place he associated with the one he loved the most. When Stiffy finally passed on, his small body was stuffed and placed within the Heinel's tomb, and though his remains were eventually removed due to vandals, many believe his determined spirit remains. Late into many nights, phantom barking has been heard from deep within. Wafts of pipe tobacco are often smelled, and the full-bodied entities of both John and Stiffy have been encountered, often seemingly unaware of the living around them as they play catch and run through the cemetery jovially, content with each other's company into eternity. Thanks for tuning in for this paranormal pit stop. If you enjoyed our histories and ghost stories, subscribe to our channel, like this upload, and share us with everyone you know so our upcoming on-site series Sleepovers gets the welcome it deserves. Until next time.